Hey, we're back. Welcome back to the Uprising Network. We don't know what to call this, but what the purpose is for this. Jazzmin called me and said, she said she wanted to do like film reviews, but not in the way that we usually do film reviews on the Uprising Network. We usually do current movies. Sometimes I've thrown it back a couple times. I talked about Belly and maybe like Boys in the Hood or something like that. But she wanted to talk about really bad, low budget movies. I don't want to say black movies.
Let's not do it. Hey, it's my true passion project. My favorite thing in the world. I'll make my boyfriend and Wanda watch the lowest budgeted shot on maybe $5 movies, and I truly get nothing but joy because I love films. I love movies, and I'm super aware of continuity errors or weird choices. And I listen to this podcast, and she does Lifetime movies. And if you guys ever watch a Lifetime movie, they're all bad. Yes. I have favorite Lifetime movies too. So I'm like, oh hell yeah. Okay. But my true passion is what is this technically called? If you look it up, they're called hood movies. Hood movies, yes.
Now,
hood movies.
When she said that, anyone who really knows me personally knows that I'm the same way. You know, the movies that in the Walmart bin was 5 movies on one DVD for $5. You know,
true.
Though I like movies that low budget.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a lot of them are so bad that they're very enjoyable. But the one that we saw today.
It stole my joy.
We saw I Got the Hookup 2.
So when Barry said, let's start with I Got the Hookup 2, I've never seen the first one. And I asked him, should I watch the first one? He said, you do not need to watch the first one to see the second one. I'm like, okay, whatever. Sure, maybe they're just sequels in name alone. That happens, whatever. I was not prepared for the abomination of film that I watched, and it's possibly the worst movie I've ever seen in my life.
Which is actually a good thing based on this movie review. We look for movies that are really that bad, but we will recommend them to a friend as well, just so they can do what we did. You know, drink and eat. You know, bad food, sort of, kind of, and hate watch it and talk and shit on it the whole time we're watching it. You know, I totally respect Master P's vision for the movie.
Sure.
He wanted to get as many people as possible, and a lot of people of color. There wasn't many white folks in this movie.
There was not. When they were, it was clearly played for laughs. There's a white girl with braids, which I rolled my eyes at. And then it got worse from there. Yeah, I respected, past tense, I had respect for Master P, but somehow he lost all respect for me. I've never seen anything so, atrocious in my life.
So where do you want to start with this? You want to... We'll work our way through this. Okay, where I want to start is now what they try to do loosely is make
plot, the summary, the technical plot.
A sequel of the original, but there's not really any purpose in it because the script is so outdated.
Yes.
We're not gonna go scene by scene because the scenes are not they.
You could have watched any scene in this movie. It didn't matter. You could have started anywhere and you'd be like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, the scenes aren't seen together at all. It's just okay,
very
we got
linear. You
available today. Let's just do a scene and happen to mention something that's going on in the movie and just place it in there.
So, as Barry said, that they gave as many actors of. I don't even want to call them actors, people of color speaking roles. So we both looked up on the IMDb. There was, how many did you think?
It was 440. The cast was 440 cast
This is not producers.
Not everybody's speaking per se, but it's 440 people in this movie. And it feels that way when you watch it. It feels that way when you're watching it.
Me, I'm super petty. I kept the tally of actual actors, people who have been in things before. There were 12 actual actors. And it was and it wasn't anyone like that. You would be oh, that's blah, blah, blah. It was character actor. Yeah. What was his name again? I keep forgetting. Clifton Powell.
Who played
Professor
Ogilvy. You know, you don't know their real names.
No, you're that's...
Oh, yeah, Professor Ogilvy was here for a blink of an eye. You know, you had... It's so many familiar faces in it, but she's speaking on the real actors.
Actors. SAG actors.
People that you've seen, you know... She don't want to give Master P the respect of being an actor.
I don't.
But he's definitely been in a
deserve it.
handful of projects to where you
He
can
made
consider
me
him
also
making it.
give Romeo Miller, Masterpiece Son. I know we all know who Little Romeo is, but I'm so disgusted with the worst acting. But he did provide me with my absolute favorite scene in the movie. We'll talk about that later.
Okay, so it basically kind of picks up like 20 years
20
later.
years, yeah, 2098.
Yeah, it was 98 when the original came out, so 20 years later, and their sons are basically, well, not their sons,
Oh, actually, yes, Romeo did not play his son. Played his nephew for some reason.
played his nephew.
Weird choices.
A police officer.
Yep.
You know, in the beginning of the movie, they show credits of the people that's in the movie, and then while the movie is playing, they're showing, like, hey, this is Romeo Miller as Detective
Why?
Jumanji. I don't know.
Why?
Hey, like, it's just,
it was so weird.
It was weird that they wanted to
Choices.
really emphasize.
I love that.
emphasize who is in these roles. Okay,
was
like as
weird.
if we didn't know.
But they also didn't do it for everyone. They just stopped there like, oh, fuck it.
Yeah.
Just these 4 people. All of Romeo... Masterpiece kids were in there too.
All of his kids. You said 7? Okay, all 7 of them are in there. Now, the movie opens up like very strange.
It's a scene that I was like, is this the beginning? So it's a scene of, what's his name? DC
Young Fly, and I don't know who the other guy was.
No, I don't either. He looked like
Instagram
Soulja
guy.
Boy, but not
Yeah.
Soulja Boy. So we're going to call him Soulja Boy. It wasn't Soulja Boy, you guys.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Yeah.
Also, this really showed me how, like, I'm older now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 25, but I'm like, oh, I'm not young.
She's an old 25.
I'm an old 25. I'm practically like 29. Because I was like, who are these people?
Yeah.
So let's call him Soulja Boy and DC Young Fly.
Mm-hmm. And it was just something random.
Talking like, okay, you know what? I'm realizing it. Nope. It just all came together. The doctor. So it was just the doctor like, oh, how's she doing? And he's like, oh, she's good. I was like, who's she? It was
The lady
Blue's
pregnant.
wife. So the doctor, you wouldn't get it if you guys didn't see it because I'm just now realizing
Because at the end she was pregnant by the doctor.
and then they had the thing where they're like an epilogue. Is that epilogues
yes.
after? Yeah, epilogue of saying like this character, blah blah blah. It's Blue from the first movie.
Yes,
He's in there too.
yes.
His wife got pregnant. But it turns out it wasn't his baby, it was the doctor, and that makes sense now. But also, no, they didn't explain that. That's a weird first scene.
But the thing is, that's not even really, it wasn't really even a part of the movie.
No, it was just like
showing as the credits was rolling.
Oh, and those credits,
And it wasn't
took 30 minutes.
like a part in the movie. It wasn't, like if you, like when you see the credits rolling in the movie, a lot of times you get up and leaving. Like, it's not like you are...
They gave it a very Marvel treatment where we had to sit there
for some reason. There and wait for that, yeah.
And it took... Again, about 30 minutes because God bless him, every single person in this movie got a credit. Even if it was like 12 club goers.
For sure, just club goers.
It just said not like this, they're club goers.
Yeah.
So that's how it begins, and it felt very like.
Through the whole movie, we're sitting there like, why was that a thing? Mm-hmm. Like you see. It's just a few people like, for instance, there's a Cash Doll scene in there.
God bless.
And she's literally in there for maybe 2 minutes, and it's
talking to another non-character that we were just like, who?
Why? Like, why is she here? Like,
no,
it's cool,
it was very
Cash Doll, but
clever. It was just very weird.
And the whole movie is filled that way. Like, it feels like you scroll the timeline and you see these people from Instagram and that 1 minute clip that they're in, and it's all placed together in a movie.
None of the scenes made sense in order. I felt like it was edited out of order. For sure edited out of order, and someone didn't tell them what order to put it in. Because these scenes didn't make sense. They were very throwaway scenes.
I've been there as a video editor, somebody that they'll send me something and it'd be like, yo, what am I doing?
I asked Barry to do a makeup tutorial once, didn't tell him how I wanted it, and it was 40 minutes long. I was like, oh, wait. So I get it.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been there quite a few times. So, like I said, we're not going to go step by step, scene by scene, but
you would hate it.
What we could talk about is, what do you think of the acting?
I'm trying to think. Bad. Okay. There's no good acting. It felt so forced. So
it felt like a parody.
Yeah, it felt so. Obviously, it was improvised because I'm like, there's no way there was a script.
No way.
Everything was so like big, huge reactions, like very loud talk, like general non-understanding of how audio works because it was so loud. Like I could tell that they were yelling. The acting was the worst.
The acting was like, hey, you have 30 seconds to make an impression.
Yep.
And they went for it. Like
everyone went for it.
Oh,
everyone went for it for sure.
For sure.
I guess I guess the main characters would have been
DC. Master P.
For some reason, I
just call him DC.
I hate him so much. I've seen other things in his. I hate his acting style.
The thing about we came to the conclusion that DC wants to be Chris Tucker.
And I did
like Smokey Chris Tucker, not Rush Hour or Money Talks Chris Tucker. No, the specific role of Smokey in Friday. He wants to be him.
It felt bad and unfunny, and I fucking hate that he wears vest. He wears vest with no shirt on, and that
Side note, she's never seen Friday, so she don't even know
whatever.
What that is.
Okay. Why did you come on out me like this?
Never seen Friday, so me mentioning Smokey was like, who?
I know who that is.
Smokey the Bear?
No, it wasn't. I'm gonna walk out. No, but it was just so painful and just so forced. Everything was so forced. Mm-hmm. If I'm gonna say who the best actor was, I guess Master B. I guess.
Stretch.
And he was like there was no affect. Nothing could face him.
Oh
and
yeah,
he wore glasses.
His emotional level was streamlined the entire time. No matter what the scene is, it's like there's no high or low. It's just literally the same reaction.
It's very medicated.
And he had his glasses on the entire movie, dark glasses, not like some cool maybe transition lens or maybe like a light tint on the glasses. No, he had on some dark glasses the entire time, whether it was day or night. Dark glasses.
No one addressed it until the ending. Someone said it, and unfortunately, it was DC, and it pissed me off. But then he made
No, Romeo did.
Oh, Romeo did. I'm sorry.
Romeo mentioned it.
How did you feel about Romeo's acting?
Romeo, he went for it as well. He was trying to have like a. He's trying to
play a cop.
Trying to play. That's the best way to put it.
He was trying to play.
I feel like he was just trying to have like
tough.
Not tough. I feel like he was trying to be in character. Like,
sure.
You know how Denzel was in character on Training Day?
Loved it.
I feel like he was trying to be like
he was trying to be Denzel in Training Day,
but with a little comedy in there as well. Not taking it too serious, but But he had moments where he was just really like, "Yo, I'm really a detective, and I'm really serious right now, and I need you to take me serious."
I think it's very annoying when in any movie the name of the character is their actual name. So his name was Detective Miller, Romeo Miller. I don't like that. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Also, what were the characters' names aside from like the people we knew from?
They didn't. They never said their names.
And it was weird because they were billed as their names, and I was like.
But the thing about it is, even if you knew their names, you wouldn't know how. Like you wouldn't be able to keep up because there's so many people in this fucking movie.
There's too many scenes.
Too many scenes.
I bet editing was a fucking mess.
Had to be. And the thing about it is that it takes place in 2018.
No, 2019.
2019. Okay,
2019 because it opened with a scene of a mural to Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah. So what they're doing in this movie is they're selling chips that go. I guess you could say a SIM card essentially that that's powered by solar energy to power your Wi-Fi. So it's not like you connected to the internet through Wi-Fi. You connected to the internet through solar energy. And they're going to like salons and the clubs and stuff to sell these things. Like the script is so dated because who doesn't have a phone these days? And
if someone tried to sell me a SIM card, I'd be like, "Where am I putting this? I have no
exactly,
phone.
exactly.
Do iPhones take this or
right? Because it's not like they had in the movie, the original movie, they had where they came across some cell phones and they essentially made their own like phone service.
Okay, sure.
Their own phone service.
That makes sense with the title. I got the hookup.
Yeah. So with this, they didn't have a phone service.
No, it was Wi-Fi service.
It was a Wi-Fi service. That's how they switched it up
I hate
on
it
you.
so much. It felt so dated because I'm like, yeah, you don't even need necessarily Wi-Fi to have a phone either. No. So this didn't make sense that Barry and me were like, did they write this like shortly after and then something must have like happened and they had to shelve this and they're like, how can we make this new Wi-Fi?
Right.
Also, that's bad science.
Very bad science. I don't know how solar energy.
They didn't even
whose phone is sitting in the sun to
charge it. So, the scientist who came up with this was his other son, Versi Miller.
Versi.
We found
Cashmere.
Cashmere.
He's Cashmere in the movie, but he's
not
Versi
Cashmere. Cashmere. Cashmere.
Yeah.
So also we found out that Master P has at least Percy. There's probably like a Percy.
He has Percy. He has Hersey.
Versi.
Oh, he's
Percy.
He's Percy.
He's Percy.
But he has Hersey, Versi, and Mercy. Which is strange because I found this out a while ago because he had a reality show on like some super low budget channel.
Okay, I believe it.
And all his kids was in it, and like I think Mercy and Hersey are twins.
Okay, but those aren't. Why Hersey? I'm sorry. At least Mercy. Okay, that's a word. Whatever. Okay, whatever. But why Hersey? Because that's not. There's a lot of choices in this movie.
A lot of choices in it. We're all over the place because the movie is all over the place.
Yeah, I wish I could. If this was like a this, I could be more.
One thing I can say about this though is that when we watch a lot of these low budget movies, they look low budget. This didn't really look low budget. There was some money. There
was some money behind it.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, because Master P has a lot of money.
Yeah.
I looked up his net worth is $200 million, which I was a little surprised by.
Really?
Only because that's not a name you hear too much. I know he has like a lot of investments. Like I know that what it's from.
Because it was 5 at one point.
I mean, that's still a lot for an average person.
Yeah.
I know that like he's had many hats.
Yes.
Of Percy Miller,
yes.
But I was like 200. What the fuck did he? ICDC. Is it?
Which is strange. So I went to LA. I drove past in a former ICDC college. Like all of them are shut down now. Like they're not. It's not a thing anymore. But the building still had ICDC on it. And I was like, and it was the one that Romeo was that did the commercial at, and I was like, oh
I'm
my God.
I'm gonna disclose this sad fact, everybody. Back when I was a young child and Lil Bow Wow and Lil Romeo came out.
Chose Lil Romeo.
I did the same with the same year that LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony came out. I picked the wrong one. I saddled up with the wrong horse.
Yeah.
Also, this movie made me like, wow, Bow Wow did some good films. We talked about that. I was like, well,
I respect Bow Wow's acting for sure.
Yeah, nothing else but that. Well, the songs were good too at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But he's such a fucking loser.
Right. You know. Okay. So we talked about the acting. We talked about the cinematography.
Bad.
What did you?
That scene where they're just turning the camera around. I was like, why are they turning the... So usually in cinematography, if you're like pivoting the camera, it's to show like their point of view, something significant's happening. They just did it for no reason, and I was like, the camera's turning, it's still turning, it's still turning. I kept saying it, and there was
nothing.
No
Just two white girls drinking.
Yep, just to show that they can turn a camera. It's not a... Yeah. Oh, I want to talk about the overt racism.
Okay.
Overt casual racism.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, in a lot of these movies, this is going to come up very casual racism towards mostly Hispanic people and Asian people. This one was so weird because there were Hispanic characters because it's set in LA, but they didn't know if they were like Mexican or Cuban or Dominican. It's like they watched Scarface and they're like, let's put some Scarface elements in there, but we're in East LA, so let's fucking wear a sombrero or something.
The crime lord in it was like Hispanic, but he was also like trying to be a fake Scarface.
It was very fake Scarface, and he wore suspenders the whole time, which I hated. The fashion in this was...
The fashion was very... It was bad. Now, like, it's little subtle things that I didn't notice, but of course Jazzmin noticed, like when a Hispanic person would come on the screen, they would play like this music under it.
Okay, so if they were like Mexican, if they were supposed to be Mexican, it would be mariachi. So, which I'm like... But if they were like... So there's also a little person in this movie... Which I didn't know if it was a little person, a kid. If it was a kid, I was about to be very upset that they were having this kid in this adult situation. Turns out he's Dominican. So that would be more like merengue music. So it would be like... Dun, 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 dun. So it would be different. And then when there was an Asian character, only played for laughs, there's no real reason. Yep, or a gong. And we'd be like, oh my God, who's that? And that feels so dated. That's the other thing about these type of movies. Like, what fucking year is this? Like, that humor was like... okay in the early 2000s, but I'm like, this was made this year, probably within one day. I feel like this movie was made.
I feel like it was done in a weekend, for sure.
A short weekend, not even like not Labor Day weekend. It's like, we have some time.
Yeah, we got
They started Friday night.
Yep.
And it was wrapped by Sunday.
It was wrapped. After party was Sunday night somewhere, you know.
Some rooftop bar or something.
Rooftop bar, you know, 9 o'clock, you know, we...
Oh, there's also an Asian man with dreads in there. I want to talk about that.
Yeah, he's a rapper. Ace B47. Don't know his music. Don't know.
I can't speak to that
about him. But it was a couple times in the movie where he was shooting a music video
for no real reason in a phone store. I would like to see the blueprint, the schematics of this.
Yeah, phone store.
Phone store because it had a full basement where you could put like a car and shoot a music video. So it was bizarre. But upstairs was like a Metro PCS itch. What else?
Mobile type. Yeah. And she was kind of not amazed, but intrigued by this character of the Asian dude, Asian, black, and Creole.
Nope, Cuban, I think.
Cuban.
Well, if you close your eyes, I would be like, "Who is this?"
Yeah, he had a New Orleans accent
because he's from New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans accent. So you have to imagine an Asian-looking person,
visibly Asian,
with dreads, with tattoos.
Yeah. That was my favorite character. Actually, now, I want to take a minute and talk to you about my favorite character in the minute. Miss Peaches, a.k.a. method actor Erica Mena from Love and Hip Hop. I love this because, again, no real reason. She's just really pretty.
Just a pretty
light
skin.
Yeah, Hispanic girl. She's Puerto Rican. She's my favorite character because if you've watched Love and Hip Hop, you've heard her speak many times. It's like she has a very heavy New York accent. My girl, method actor, put on a new voice. So I know that means she has range. Her voice was like deep and sultry, and I'm like, oh, that's not the way she normally speak. So she took it very seriously.
Okay.
I want you to know also, though, unfortunately, her scenes take place in a hybrid...
Big Papa's Burgers. Blacks and / Black's Masterpiece name is Black. So Black's Credit Repair.
So you can get a burger
while you're getting your credit fixed, or attempt to get your credit fixed.
So let's sit there and think about that for a minute.
Think about that for a minute.
I don't think it was crazy because there was a story by credit, so there's an actual someone who wrote at least something towards it, and it didn't feel that way. Or if they did, I always wonder if people know how stupid it sounds, or they're like, that sounds good. Lil Romeo wrote it.
Oh, he did? That scene?
Oh, he wrote it.
The movie? I thought he was just a producer, maybe.
And he wrote it. It's a story by...
Wow. Okay. So another plot line in the movie is that...
there's so many plots going on.
So many plots going on is that someone was trying to buy Big Papa's Burgers because of the gentrification going on in the neighborhood. And they
I couldn't tell what neighborhood of LA this was either. It
wasn't the neighborhood they was trying to
portray it to be. Yeah, it was very weird. I've never been to California, but I.
It wasn't that bougie.
No,
they were trying to make it like it was a Beverly Hills type area with this black ass burger / credit repair in the middle of Rodeo Drive or something like that.
I'm just saying it wasn't. Maybe East LA. And I'm only saying it because I know there's a big Hispanic community there. And that would make sense because it was prevalent. But at the same time, my favorite part of that scene, when they're trying to explain, this neighborhood's up and coming, they just, cut to stock footage of Rodeo Drive.
Yeah.
But if you just look in the back of the scene, you can see this big fucking highway. Or, the 405. Zooming past it. And I'm like, well, I know a little bit about something. Yeah. And I know those two things aren't on the same street.
Nope. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up a little bit. I feel like we're beating a dead horse with how bad this is.
Can we just talk about the best scene, though, Romeo?
Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about the high. We'll talk about the high and low lights, and then we'll... So, what was something that stuck out to you? Just give us a scene or two. Because there's so many moments that sticks out.
Of all... My favorite scene in the movie, and I'm just going to warn you guys, I'm about to yell. Romeo, who's portrayed as Detective Miller, let's call him by his real name, I'm sorry, Detective Miller, is really going through it, trying to figure out who committed this crime. Because it's start off with some robbery. It's not even worth it. And he's in the shower. And then right before it happened, my boyfriend said, oh, he's really going through it. Romeo lets out this scream.
You gonna do it or? Okay.
I'm sorry. He's just it's already ah! And it was so out of place.
It was so out of place.
I was crying laughing.
Oh man! It all within that just 60 seconds moment. Now you have him being upset that he finds out that his uncle is the one behind the
mastermind of sorts.
Whatever. So he's in the shower. He's like, oh my god, And then shortly after,
immediately
after, his partner, who's a woman, is in the locker room, and he drops his towel. And all of a sudden, it turns into this romantic, flirty scene.
And they never had any romantic chemistry before it. Ah! Best scene of the movie. What is your lowest low of the movie? Oh, there's so many.
There's definitely a lot of cringeworthy moments. Maybe... probably when they were robbing whatever, they was like stealing all the boxes and they had to hop into the lift.
Yep.
And they were throwing the boxes with the supposed
phones
in them, but they were like light. And,
they were so light, they were flying. They're like, huh.
I was like, okay, now I get that this movie is technically low budget, but like, let's be a little more realistic with this, okay?
I wonder what the budget was.
It's so many, like, it's hard to figure out which one, but it's just so many. The whole movie is a low light, you know?
I pulled up this is per the website, it's the #1 urban comedy in America.
Okay. That's saying something.
I mean, what are we comparing it to as opposed to...
I mean, I don't know what the release schedule is for like urban comedies, but if it's if it's something like music, I can imagine that there's a ton of movies coming out every day. At least every Friday.
Unfortunately, it's the number 11 movie in the country on Amazon, and we contributed to that.
Actually, we didn't watch it on Amazon.
Ha
I'm sorry, Pete.
Oh, I'm not giving you. I refuse. Okay. Because it was so upsetting. Oh, we could get the soundtrack. They have gifts.
Which this is at the last
thing we promised.
So we looked at as we were watching the credits and we like, hey, all right. So there's a few notable songs in the movie. Okay? The movie starts with. And then the opening credits, which... for a second. It took 10 minutes to get to the opening credit scene. It took 10 minutes to get to that part. Luther Vandross is playing in there. That scene. Right. You know, and we like, okay, well, a lot of the money must have went to the budget.
It had for
that song, okay?
Alone.
And then in the movie, there's an Al Green song being played. Mm-hmm. So we like...
together, my favorite.
You know, and we look through the credits, and it's nothing but Master P songs in the credits. So they didn't even credit Luther Vandross and Al Green's music, so which means they probably didn't pay for it because they knew that the people that associated with Al Green and Luther Vandross probably is not going to watch this movie. But if there's like a distant relative of Luther Vandross, I'd be going after that money.
Please, I hope if you are related to Luther Vandross or Al Green, please get this shit taken off.
Hey,
please.
If Marvin Gaye's family is on they are on it.
Please,
on it. Y'all
please,
need to put some respect on Luther's
I know you
legacy.
have some kids. Please. Fuck.
Okay. So we're gonna do a 1 out of 5 scale or 1 out of 10 scale?
Let's just do 5.
5. Okay, so
is it 5 being the best? I guess we have to compare it to. Okay, let's compare it to an actual good urban movie.
Okay, so on a scale, the way we're talking about movies, I would think 5 would be like
a good one, a
great bad one, like. It checks off every single box of what we're looking for with these bad movies. Mm-hmm. So I would give this a 5 for sure.
Oh, 5.
5 for sure.
The only thing I wish it could be a little bit more like campy if like the clothing was worse. I mean, the clothing was like not great, but it wasn't anything over the top where you're like, because I've seen some where like the weave is really bad, like the clothing. You're like, what year is this? Yeah. But I would give it at least. Yeah, honestly, I truly.
It's nothing when you're looking for a movie this bad. These hood urban comedies, they don't leave any stones unturned in this movie.
No stones
unturned. No stones unturned. Everything, the plot lines are off. The acting is not great. A lot of the continuity is off. It's a 5. It's a 5 out of 5. It is the best of the best with these movies.
So this is an Oscar-worthy
bad movie.
Bad movie. I'm so excited for the rest of them.
Okay. Well, we have more of these coming out.
Yes.
There's an abundance. I have so many that I'm going to suggest to her, and she can suggest to me as well. Mm-hmm. We're going to convene here and do these more often. We don't even have a name for what this is, but they're just movie reviews. Fuck it. You know, I got to hook up too. Master P, I respect your vision.
Master P, fuck you. Fuck you. I'm so pissed.
All right, so next time, Barry, founder of the Uprising Network and everything you see on the network. And this is Jazzmin. 422. Snacks in the City. Movie reviews and more. So tune in. Thanks for watching.
Bye.